Fun fact, this is the first time I've seen a film where it was possibly too loud.
Interesting.
It was invited to a press sort of industry screening at Universal. Lovely to go there. They got a nice screen. And like as soon as it started, there were no trailers. Me and Tally, like, you know, the logo swooshing through. Me and Tally both went, Jesus, is that really loud? She's like, yeah, it's really loud. It's really loud. Cue a movie that was just needed a little bit down. But it's a comedy. If it had been June, I might have really sort of rung my ears, but too loud.
They turned it up to 11. They needed.
The problem is usually too quiet.
Yeah.
I think I told the story. I saw Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, and it was too quiet. And I had to tell them, please, it's far too quiet. You need to turn it up. And they did.
Really?
Yeah. I think
was
I
that at
told
the
you.
IMAX?
No, it was when I saw it the second time with my cousin.
Oh, really?
And it was fine. I didn't mind walking
Did they
out
do
because
it?
I'd seen it. Yeah, they
good.
did. I really remember it being quiet.
I'd rather have it too loud than too quiet.
Me too.
Too loud, I'm like, well, at least I know it's hurting my ears, but my ears can't be hurt like this at home.
Yeah.
Whereas too quiet, I'm like, I might as well have watched it.
Too loud's never happened. I saw Inception at the BFI IMAX, not an IMAX film, but nonetheless. And I remember thinking, God, this is really impactful because but it wasn't too loud.
Do you know what's sad is because the older we get, our hearing obviously we just get to the point where
I
we're
can't
like,
hear it.
is it on?
Anyway,
let's do Babes, which is the movie that James was just talking about. A new movie co-written by and starring Ilana Glazer, who people know from Broad City, American comedian. This, what I like about this is, we'll talk about it, but it's like, it's one of those films that's kind of on the periphery of our radar. And a benefit of doing this podcast is that we contacted and said, would you like to see this film? And also, would you like to have the chance to speak to some of the talent involved? And we said yes. And actually, I'm really glad we did because I think the film is really interesting. So Babes essentially is about two best friends, Eden and Dawn, played by Ilana Glazer and Michelle Buteau. And they are best friends from when they were kids. They both live in New York. They're both in their sort of mid-30s. And Michelle's character Dawn is pregnant with her second child, and they're having this great day out. They normally go to the cinema, and she's like trying to get in all the fun she can before she has her baby. But it's a movie, so what are they doing? They're on their day out, and of course, she starts to go into labor. And there's this great sort of opening sequence with her trying to resist the fact she's going into labor, but then realizing, oh God, I need to go to a hospital. And they go into hospital, they have the baby, and Dawn's husband, played by Hissam Minhaj, is there as well. And it's like a new chapter of their friendship and their lives has happened. And they are like, Eden and Dawn are close buddies, and they're inseparable. I mean, their friendship is very reminiscent of the friendship of Abby and Ilana in Broad City.
Comedy style as well.
Comedy style.
It's almost like if Broad City was like about them in their 20s, this is about
you're
you're
absolutely right. This could conceivably be a kind of Broad City film later on. And we then follow Eden, and through circumstances that happen in the plot, Eden becomes pregnant as a solo parent, single parent pregnancy, and she decides that she wants to keep the child and she wants to raise it. And you have this film which follows two parallel stories. On the one hand, Eden going through pregnancy, the prospect of being a single parent and being a single mother, and equally Dawn raising a second child, bring the disruption that brings into the household. You already have a first child, and the sort of the strain it puts on her relationship with her husband, but also Eden and Dawn's relationship as well. It's set in New York. It's big. It's Manhattan, baby.
Oh yeah, opening shot like the park and brown trees with the Fifth Avenue buildings and
gorgeous. And actually, I said to Ilana Glazer, I said like I love that New York is like a main character in this film. You really feel it, and they said absolutely like from the beginning, like it's such an impressive part of this story. It's funny. It can be dramatic, but that's the essential story. Babes, James, what did you think?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I had a great time. Saw it with Talia. We both laughed a lot, especially I found the opening really funny. My main takeaway is like it's really easy to watch. It's very like easy to just sort of run through you. I think Ilana Glazer is really funny in it. That comedy style of you take the Broad City comedy style and you age it a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's modern, narcissistic New York women sort of slightly in denial about what's definitely going to happen to them if you go through this thing. So that whole like them playing on that trope I think is really nice. I love seeing John Carroll Lynch pop up as the fertility doctor or the gynecologist for like 5 different scenes. And he's just doing exactly what John Carroll Lynch does, which is being quite a great character actor in a load of different things. It's a lovely story about friendship, and it's really nice to like see how friendship evolves as you age and your priorities change as it comes to your children and your husband or your partner, and just like playing on that and making fun of it. And I had a really nice, solid time with it. I enjoyed it. It's a bit long, but all in all, fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think it really surprised me. I thought it was really charming, and I was kind of delighted in it. Like, you have this film, which is kind of like a solid mid-budget, low budget, spirited, small cast kind of vibe. I agree that what immediately stuck out to me was like, this is a film that's got a lot of like love in it.
Yes.
Got a lot of love. No character is ever seeking to hurt, diminish, or pull down any other character. Every character in it is actually seeking to help and to love the other ones, but they're just doing it at different times, different places, at times where other characters might not want to receive that kind of love. It's kind of
that's the comedy,
conflict.
really, like people being in different headspaces. Right?
Yeah, everyone's wanting to help, but there's no nastiness in that, and I actually really like that. And I thought it was really interesting to see the depiction of, like I said, single parent pregnancy as well. Yeah. Like the way that it's kind of breaking a kind of societal taboo about the way that single mothers are framed, which I really thought was really refreshing. It's very witty. The chemistry between them as performers is brilliant.
Could we talk about the distracting amount of wealth they must have had to have owned the brownstone in New York?
I've made this point before, right? About
God.
a lot of like romantic comedies or even indie comedies. It's like the characters always seem to have a good amount of disposable income and wealth.
In order to be funny and romantic.
Yes, it's almost like to just alleviate some of the plot. Like even Eden, Alana Glazer's character, their apartment is like got retro pinball machines in it, and it's got lots of space, and they're just a yoga instructor.
Yeah, well, really, you do, but yeah, yoga instructor.
And you never know what Hassan Minaj's job is, but Michelle's job is like a
gorgeous
dentist.
Entire house brownstone, and they want to convert the ground basement into an Airbnb.
I honestly think sometimes it's from filming. They go, we need to film in a place. The only space that's big enough is a really wealthy apartment.
Yeah.
And also,
the friend's
it adds
apartment
to the kind of
would work
aesthetic.
if you were tiny. And you need to do physical comedy. It's not funny to be like, let me just squeeze.
Yeah, let me get there. But that aside, I thought it was really refreshing. I think it's got a really good like heart to. When I finished it, I thought this is kind of really important. I mean, I think our girlfriends both really liked it as well. Anna thought it was amazing, and it has this. It kind of builds towards this very wonderful, beautiful celebration of what like being pregnant and having a child is.
Yeah.
It's like, it is a miracle. It's amazing. You've grown a human inside of you, and that's like beautiful and amazing. Yeah. I think it's really lovely. It's one of those things that like, it's a small release in August. It's very New York, very American. I don't know, like internationally, how well that's going to spread. But I actually really if it's up your street, you fancy something like it, I really recommend it.
I texted some people who I used to watch Broad City with, and I was like, "Oh, Alana Glazer's got a new film out. You should check it out. It's very much. I think you'd really enjoy it." And they hadn't heard of it, and I was like, "Oh, by all means, it's out now."
And actually, I liked Broad City, but Ilana Wexler, who's the character that Alana Glazer plays, I found particularly insufferable towards the end.
She could, I know what you mean.
Really kind of became more extreme, and like Abby, I really sympathised with. But with this, Eden has enough sympathy and enough it's just a slightly different drawn character. Still very Alana Glazer, but just drawn slightly differently to allow me to like really enjoy their company.
Yeah, it's contemporary, and it's about people in their 30s in New York. I don't feel like you get many stories about that quite now.
Also, not that every film has to carry the burden of politics and the world on its shoulders, but like for a film as light and witty and important it is at a time when women's rights and reproductive rights are very much a hot topic. Unfortunately, in the US, it's very important, very vital. Really enjoyed it.
And Hassan Minaj is really funny in it as well.
Right, yeah. If you seek it out, it's one of those wonderful feelings we have for the show where it looks like a tiny film that could go either way. And you watch it, and you've actually just discovered like a little bit of a gem.
Easy to watch. It's just like there's no effort to it. Effortless entertainment.
Yeah, lovely. So that's Babes, and that's out at the moment.